RFK Jr. said that a worm ate part of his brain one time, but that doesn't disqualify him from being president. I see he's employing the Christy Gnome playbook here of go ahead and tell everyone the worst thing about you and see what happens. Also, how are our choices the ancient guy, the crazy guy, and the brainworms guy? Are we just completely out of stock on normal guys? Can someone check in the back? Christy Gnome, who can write a book but not read a room, is still trying to recover from a self-inflicted dog shot wound to her career, and she has had it with the dog questions.
Been a conversation
I
with
talk
Trump?
to President Trump all the time.
About the dog?
About a lot of things. And right now, I tell you what, he is being persecuted in a political hunt, witch hunt in this court case. So I'm proud of him about how tough he is and how well he is doing.
Did you bring up the
yes,
dog?
Yes, enough, Stuart.
Did you
this
bring
interview
up the dog
is
with Trump?
ridiculous, what you were doing right now.
I don't
so
think
you
so.
need to stop. It is.
Okay.
It is.
We'll
Let's
stop.
talk about some real topics that Americans care about.
I'm afraid we're out of time.
Guys, she's done talking about the dog. She's sick of it, which is made all the more hilarious by the fact that she actually tried to put the dog story in her last book, but the publisher's PR team was like, you know what? We would like to field a normal number of phone calls about this book instead of all of them, so maybe we leave the part about you being a puppy murder out of this one, okay? But she was determined to talk about the dog story, so she made sure it got into this book. But now...
Enough, Stuart.
So what gives? Is Christy Gnome mentally ill or something? For more on this, we go to our chief mental health correspondent, Jen Haston. Jen, she shoots the dog, she wants to talk about it, then she doesn't, now she's canceled her book tour. What on earth is happening here?
Well, in my professional opinion, Christy is suffering from canine derangement syndrome.
I'm sorry, what?
There's no need to laugh. It's very serious.
I'm sorry, I just never heard of this before.
Well, symptoms of CDS include an irrational hatred of dogs and possibly other animals, along with the desire to completely nuke your own political career by telling the world that you're a monster.
Well, she definitely has both of those.
Subjects often feel confusion once they've destroyed themselves because others want to know how they could have fucked things up so badly. But to them, it all makes sense.
Well, it definitely doesn't make sense to the rest of us.
Christy Gnome needs our help. That's why I've set up a GoFundMe to...
I'm sorry. No, we are not going to send money to a puppy killer, okay?
Send your money to kofo.com/Phoenix News.
Oh, right. That's okay then. Here's a quick update on the criminal hush money trial of Donelius Trump. I now take a Xanax with a vodka chaser every time I get a news alert. Stormy Daniels testified in the Trump trial about their encounters, and everyone in the courtroom threw themselves into a volcano. It was gross, it was detailed, and Trump's lawyer immediately moved for a mistrial, mostly because he didn't want to have to hear any more about his client's trips to the Bone Zone. Please get me the fuck out of the courtroom, said Todd Blanche, approaching the judge's bench, but Judge Juan Merchan was too busy chugging a fifth of bourbon to hear him. If you have access to the internet, maybe unplug it. Trump supporters are wearing diapers to his rallies in support of the former president/aspiring dictator that say, real men wear diapers. And the only thing I can think of is Trump's gotta be fucking with these people for profit, right? Like, this has gotta be a grift, you know? It's like if he started a rumor that was like, Trump shoves a can of spray cheese up his ass every morning, and then he buys stock in the spray cheese company and waits to see if they'll do it too. And then before you know it, news headline, anal spray cheese removal cases at hospitals increase 3,000%, and then he cashes out the stock. I mean, these legal bills aren't going to pay themselves. Marjorie Taylor Greene put on her big girl panties and filed her motion to take down Mike Johnson. And you know what? I think it went pretty well.
This is the uniparty for the American people watching.
The motion failed bigly and totally embarrassed her, but don't worry. She'll pick herself up, dust herself off, and she'll be back to trying to get people fired for no reason before you know it. Now, obviously, there's a huge conflict going on right now with global ramifications where both sides are escalating and things are changing rapidly. I'm speaking, of course, about the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And I have to say, it's gone too far at this point. I mean, shooting at Drake's house? Come on, there are children in there. For more on this, let's go to our chief music correspondent, Mike Dynamo. Mike, can you explain what's happening?
Now, this might be difficult for some of you to hear, but did you know rappers can have deep hatred for other rappers? It's true. The only difference today is that Drake and Kendrick Lamar release music just More music this past week than they released all year. You see, back in the day, you had to wait for music to come out, right? Rappers got a chance to think up ways to respond, but you literally had time to think. But Drake, Kendrick, they make music that comes out daily. I'm a grown man with a job. I don't have time to keep up with this. I gotta watch videos from people who keep up with this, laugh about it. Then Kendrick or Drake puts out another song, calling out the other one again, every morning. I find myself going to the damn Huffington Post to find out who said what to who when they said it and who might get violent and be going to jail, real jail, like Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G. and the whole East Coast, West Coast rivalry. Violence can kick off due to disrespect. And the things that Kendrick and Drake are saying about each other are most assuredly disrespectful as hell. So, whichever one of these dudes is a wife beater, groomer, has a gambling problem, like sex with children, he's got to go. I'm just glad neither one of these dudes lives near me.
The internetosphere is abuzz with the man versus bear question. At first I thought this was a who would win question until I learned it's about who you would feel more comfortable being stuck alone with. The good news is I didn't have to change my answer. The Boeing Starliner space capsule launch was scrapped at the last minute Monday night when the crew detected a strange noise. The issue turned out to be a family of raccoons that had gotten into the capsule through the unsecured screen door. To correct the problem, Boeing has put a few traps into the capsule and added more duct tape to some of the doors, as well as a second layer of chicken wire on the vents. They're even considering screwing in the bolts all the way. The Boy Scouts of America has rebranded with a new name. The process of choosing the new name was tricky. At first they were stymied when they found out the Catholic Church was taken, and then they thought, we're not doing the child abuse stuff anymore, while descriptive was a little bit too long, so they settled on Scouting America, which is a problem because now they're being sued for stealing the title of Drake's new album. How about I make you feel better about yourself? Yes, I am about to make you feel so smart, because no matter how dumb you think you are, you will never be as dumb as this guy. Okay, so this guy owns a Cybertruck, which you pay for in dollars and not common sense. And he wanted to prove the truck wouldn't break his finger. So he set up a little experiment.
I'm going to test it out with this stick. This is exactly what I'm going to do with my finger. I'm going to put it right there, and hopefully my finger doesn't break like that.
Okay, so at this point, I'm guessing 100% of you would not put your finger in there after seeing what happened to the stick, right? Of course not, because you are a genius, at least compared to this guy. I'm gonna show you what happened next. It's pretty predictable, but if you're a little squeamish, maybe skip ahead.
I'm going to put my finger flat right here and see what happens. Ready? 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 Okay, I can't even move my finger right now. I might have actually broken it.
You're smart, I'm smart, we're all smart, except for that guy. Lots of people are asking, should we tax billionaires more? Hell yes! Granddaddy billionaire Warren Buffett, who at 93 has more money than every person you've ever known and is clearly trying to be one of those heads on Futurama, should have a big old chunk of his money taken away. As should Elon, I made this truck as a joke to see what would happen, Musk. They don't need it, we do, case closed. Why are we even still talking about this? Oh right, they bought all the politicians. A Belgian man got out of a drunk driving ticket by saying he has a rare disorder where his body naturally produces alcohol. This is the excuse every Belgian person gives when they don't want to get a drunk driving ticket. Jean-Claude Van Damme used it, Technotronic used it, Falco used it, all the Belgians are using it. Don't let them fool you. Let's end tonight with some good news. While the world was burning, Heyman Bekele, a 9th grader, invented an affordable soap that treats skin cancer. Isn't that cool? I don't know about some of the grown-ups, but the kids, they just might be all right after all. That wraps up this week's episode. Stay tuned next week for some new merch in our store. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially mine. Love you. Bye.